Busia Shia, a big Nanti, Shia or POG to say, and I to say, a Ghana political headlines in the Bina to say, a day Baba some Namusuba who the echo, and a day Eba, woman Ghana, Munamesha say, and a day, the can as old media use that as on subscribe to a POG Media, and a day and will book out so I job subscription. Now I share no for so answer so to me a catch media be no so who the echo, and a day Eba, a woman Ghana, a man say, Nayabo. Ɛde Ryan nsɛm mu anakyɛ sɛ yɛbɔ ɛde ra ɛyɛ maame ɛyɛ toko no ɛyɛ the former CJ ɛyɛ ɔno nso nsɛnsɛm a kyɛ sɛ ɔno nso ɛde abɔ ɛde ra ɛyɛ high court a ɛno nso akɔyɛ twema mentwe a anakyɛ sɛ ɔrehyɛ sɛ ɛyɛ judiciary system no ɛnsan no mbra bench na kyɛ sɛ ɔno nso mɛyɛ judge ɛwɔ supreme court a ɛyɛ high court so akyerɛ no sɛ ɛyɛ saa wei deɛ intimacy na wei na ɛyɛ the former OSP Martin Amidu and so Eden same be about to judge so no so abo ra court or some evidence and so akoda court no say Mame tokunu brand na so no so office one no ne sabi ne suban boni bi ana say niam bi a na sem fata say na say o use office no CG office na ya no so no na ono so evidence no akoda high court so mo hwe na ono so entimi and dismiss ono so case a or the aba so person judge supreme court na busia man say bejebe ne abo rasansi with us.
It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, and here we speak truth to power. Remember to hit on the share button, share the broadcast so many more people can be part of this. This is the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. Story number 2. Watch this. Martin Amidu orders C0urt to shut up. Martin Amidu orders CJ, in fact, former C0urt to shut up. She became the 15th Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. She took over from a man, Eninyeboa, my brother, my sister, who had retired, and she became one of the very few females who rose to that point of calling themselves the Chief Justice. She was called to the Supreme Court somewhere in 2019 as a Supreme Court judge. And then 2 years ago, in 2023, she became the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. When Eninyeboa, the then Chief Justice, had just retired. My brother, my sister, Nana Addo Akuffo Addo was full of energy and hope that this woman was going to be able to carry her duties very, very well. The first thing she did was to run to church and give thanks to Jesus Christ for making her the Chief Justice. Many were those who were in the church singing and dancing to the glory of the Most High. After all, the Bible says, make merry with people who make merry. In other words, rejoice with people who rejoice. They were happy for her. The church was so excited. But some inner wranglings came in, and the fight became so deep. Now, at the time that Gertrude Esaba was made the Chief Justice, in fact, we all were excited that a woman had risen to that point. She wasn't the only woman who had reached there, but for a reason, we were most excited, even though we had come to dislike the Nana Addo Akuffo Addo Bawumia government. The regime was nothing good to write home about. We hated that regime. My brother, my sister, as it stands right now, things happened to this woman. A gentleman called Daniel Ofori decided to go to court. Not just any court, but the apex court of the land, the Supreme Court, in fact. And what was his complaint? Simple. this woman is biased towards me. I don't want her to hear any of my cases. And it was upheld. So, Gertrude Torkono was stopped from hearing any case that had to do with Daniel Ofori. In fact, the boss and founder, CEO and director of Whitechapel, an apparel outfit right here in Ghana. At the age of 15, he was already a millionaire. Daniel Ofori succeeded in getting Gertrude Esaba Torkono sidelined when it came to hearing his cases. And when he heard that the same woman had risen to the Chief Justice, I think the best thing Gertrude Esaba Torkono should have done was to invite Daniel Ofori over to say, listen, we have had some bad days and all that, but right now, I think we should put aside all these things and rise higher. She didn't know that there was a silent storm brewing. My brother, my sister. But there was a man, a lawyer, who was not happy about the appointments to the position of the CJ by Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo. My brother, my sister, and you know what happened? He held his peace until now. Who are we talking about? My brother, my sister. You know who we are talking about? He said Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo was in fact appointing babies as chief justices. This is the man. We all know who he is. And watch this story from Ghana. Akuffo Addo appointed babies as chief justice. This is Ansa Asare. My brother, my sister, Kweku Ansa Asare. It says a former director of the Ghana Law School, Kweku Ansa Asare, has accused former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo of breaching constitutional conventions in the appointment of chief justices during his tenure. According to Ansa Asare, the former president overlooked the established practice of allowing the most senior justice to act as chief justice whenever a vacancy arose. Instead, he claimed Akuffo Addo bypassed senior members of the judiciary and elevated relatively junior judges to the highest office of the judiciary. The then president threw away the constitution, which stipulates that when there is a vacancy, the most senior must act, he said. He further described some of the appointments as elevating babies to the prestigious role of the Chief Justice. Ansa Asare made these remarks whilst reacting to the recent appointment of Justice Paul Bafo-Bonny as Chief Justice. He shared his views on the Citizen Show, hosted by Kwabena Bobie Ansa on Accra 100.5 FM on Tuesday. That's yesterday, September the 23rd, 2025. In contrast, he commended President John Dramani Mahama for adhering to the constitutional practice by maintaining the tradition of appointing the most senior justice at the Supreme Court to act as Chief Justice anytime there is a vacancy. Oh, wow. So this is Ansa Kweku Asare, the former lecturer and director of the Ghana Law School. He said Nana Addo forced mangoes to ripe. He put in babies with sharp teeth as appointed chief justices. It looks like Ansa Asare might be right. It looks like he has hit the nail right on the head. Was that why Gertrude Torkono made a few errors left, right, and center? Was that why she abused her office, traveled around and blew the country's money on her family, decided to go against standard norms? A committee sits, comes with a conclusion, she overturns that and goes her own way. She is the supremo, better than the committee. as we were told. My brother, my sister. But Martin Amidu has also spoken. He's kept his silence for so long. He is a man who is well respected in the legal profession. He is a senior. He's more than just matured. He has spoken finally. What has he said? He wants Tokono to shut up. Martin Amidu breaks silence on removal of Gertrude Tokono. Run it, my youths. And watch this. Former special prosecutor Martin Amidu has stated that former Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Tokono was lawfully removed from office on September 1, 2025 as both Chief Justice and Justice of the Supreme Court. Amidu has dismissed Tokono's legal challenge as inconsistent with established constitutional law, pointing to the Supreme Court's landmark decision in a J. Chum versus Attorney General and Akwete 2025-2026 ruling. Now, the removal of the Chief Justice pursuant to Articles 1, 4, 6, 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, and 9 is conterminous with the removal of the Chief Justice as a Justice of the Superior Court under Articles 146 of the 1992 Constitution, he argued in a statement on September 22, 2025. Dash it away. It's the same thing lawyer T0rk0rn00 is saying. And remember, we carried the story a few days ago.
Like you made the message over job or like so on subscribe to a POG Media and the go swap job or subscription. Now I share no for so and so it's me account on so the echo and the airbanny na I work on my Ghana na me kai so basically me slide into the comment section or now what it means so adding come on a POG Media eba na yansu aba be ma hu me that's it so come home. Na ye di bo edibia medina sama black grass died to be kamia ko ese Martin Amidu e brand that is on so special prosecutor no or MPP government no kamia ko ese na ni dwumadi bi en sheda en so ani ema the then president Nanado the show boy and so 8 me no edi free homa kisi ejaben and so 8 me bebo ebeto adwuma no so na sana wo free honi na na chese ne kose ne na hye 3 man na chese ono so agada certain evidence no so ede baba be ede baba fight back ono so enya the perfect opportunity ono so and so ede aba be egu media no so say yemfa enyi Tokono ne petition and answer a case a high court.
It looks like the Chief Justice has become so desperate. It looks like the former Chief Justice has regretted her act of sidelining a certain plea deal that she was supposed to have with the President of the Republic of Ghana, as we were told by people like Amalaba. My brother, my sister, what was the deal like? The former Chief Justice spoke with the President of the Republic. Well, I see that people want to remove me. I see the petition is coming. Many more people are coming in. I think that I will leave. And it was agreed that if she decided to resign on her own, she will resign on her salary and other benefits. But her lawyers seemingly told her that she had a case. It was time to go to court and embarrass the government and flex legal muscles. Unfortunately, everything fell flat to the ground. Now she has been sacked with no benefits. She would go home with no fowl for Christmas. All the Christmas lights are dim. And tomorrow when she decides to fly to Tanzania, she might go in the economy class where I always sit. And if I happen to sit with her in the economy class, I will have a beautiful conversation with her. As to what that conversation would be, I don't know, but I know it will be beautiful. My brother, my sister, many people are surprised that Martin Amidu, who is a critic of John Dramani Mahama, who Mahama himself had called a coward before, has come out to support a very dicey situation that many people think it was pure witch hunting to kick out the Chief Justice. But as it stands right now, it looks like even the so-called enemies of Mahama are supporting him. Kweku Ansah himself has been a critic of this government, but he has also come out to say that Gertrude Esaba Arabatokono was a baby with sharp teeth in the world of law. There were more senior compatriots who should have been appointed, but for one reason or the other, she got herself there. What do you think about what Martin Amidu is saying? What do you think is going on? This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo. When we return, we'll be taking your messages and we'll go deeper into our next story. Hey, hey, yo. Subscribe yet? And also the notification button. So anytime we are on, you will be reminded to watch. Now remember, we research our stories quite well and we go the extra mile to be able to bring you exclusives. My brother, my sister, sometimes it takes a lot of time to be able to do this. That is why we continue asking you to support a good cause. It's all about patriotism, no politics. It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power. Story number 3. Watch this. Joseph Yamin threatens lawsuit against Black Rasta. Now, earlier today, the Rastafari community, led by Ras Amdi, called me and told me, Black Rasta, there is a gentleman on radio, a former minister of state, who is threatening a lawsuit against you. It was quite early, so I couldn't listen properly. But when everything was calm and cool, I called back and they gave me details that the man who wants to take me to court is Joseph Yamin. This is the gentleman. I remember only encountering him once in the studios of Joy FM, Hits FM, same place. And I thought that he was a very nice guy. And I've said that time and again. Very respectful young man. I call him young man because there are people who are far older than him in his chosen profession. Nana Akuffo Addo, Kwabena Dufo. This is a young man as compared to them. My brother, my sister, this is Joseph Yamin. In fact, I admired him so much right from the start until he started misbehaving. There was a certain football tournament. I think it was the World Cup. And this man, his party, the NDC, was in power. And he shamelessly came out and said, you know what? We are flying only members of the NDC to the World Cup. If he was going to use NDC's money to do that, no problem. But they were going to use national coffer monies to send their party supporters to the World Cup. I felt that that was very unusual. Unusual in the sense of this blatant disrespect for democracy. This is favoritism. My brother, my sister. That's what he said. And he went ahead to defend himself by saying that even the other party that came and left, they were also doing the same thing. He forgot that we chased that party out for them to come in because of some of these things that they were doing. I hate it when politicians come out and all they say is, oh, you know what? The other party was doing it, so if we come and repeat the same things, there's no problem. Does a wise man speak like this? Somebody went a certain way. He got sick. And we decided to relegate the person to the background. You come and you are trotting the same path. Are you wise? For me, I thought that he hadn't made a wise statement. Many people condemned this. He never came out to apologize. That was something that made me feel that, oh, but this gentleman, why? Then we started hearing about Galamsey, to the point that the Attorney General fingered him and one Abanga Fuseni to be investigated for Galamsey. I went underground, as usual, and started talking to party members, the minister involved, my brother, my sister, and I started picking up information from different areas, even amongst party people, that this guy is a Galamsey kingpin. And that Abanga Fuseni was also a Galamsey kingpin. From party members. There's no reason party members would hate you, especially in the early hours of the presidency. And everyone I spoke to told me point blank that these two guys were the disgrace of the Galamsey from their party. So I put it out. You know what happened? Fuseni Abanga immediately called me and he told me, Black Rasta, I've been involved in mining for so many years, but I don't do Galamsey. I do legal mining. And my licenses were given to me not by my party, but by the Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo Bawumia regime. In fact, he took me through a lot of things. He explained. And when I cross-checked the facts, my other side of the story still maintained that he was part of the Galamsey. But at least he tried to exonerate himself by saying that, yes, I hear people saying that. I have even made myself available to be investigated. I mine, yes, I've been involved in mining, but I don't do Galamsey. This was what Fuseni Abanga told me, and we carried the story. Videos came out of this man seemingly touting the prowess of Galamsey, and we put that out as well. Today, the Rastafari community called me and said they were listening to a radio station quite known in Accra called XYZ. And it was Honorable Yamin who was threatening that he would sue the government of Ghana and so many other people for calling him a Galamseya. But for him, the most annoying is Black Rasta, because he gave him a certain name that angered him, the kingpin of Galamsey. What did I do? I went to the radio station, picked up the recorded tape, and I need you to listen to Honorable Yamin in his anger, what he said this morning about me. Watch this.
And I will sue him because I'm just waiting for Iroku report to come out. XYZ. And I'll take a number of people on legally. If you are buying crab for the wedding or more Adiato upon team. I'm not a friend of Black Rasta. Yeah, Black Rasta. So new campaign, Galamsey.
So come on about Atr0cítíes Media. Say POG Media, the Ghana authentic political headlines. A POG Media so pay and also bet me account also who the echo and the Urbanina my Ghana. Muna message is also subscribe to a POG Media and the book also about your subscription. Now I share no for so answer so it's me account also who the echo and the Urbanina my Ghana. Bet me so I slide into the comment section or now what it means so adding como on a POG beba na use your baba be ma. But that's it. So come on. Now you bought Atr0cítíes Media. Maybe say share.